Namaste, namaste, everybody. I have a couple of event announcements. Oh my gosh, we got some stuff coming down the pike over here. So exciting, new energies, new opportunities, and oh, this is so great that you got the gathering. That's great. I'm going to use the essential oil gathering, which is from Young Living. So you could just put the intention. You know how that works. I need some of that right now. I had an interesting day. So first of all, angels were good because they showed me my tire and they said, you better get this fixed today or else you're in trouble. A big bubble at the side of my tires. And these were, pretty expensive tires that I got some time ago. And what they said, if you hit a pothole, and recently we don't usually have potholes here in Sarasota, but I remember hitting one and it hit hard. I went, wow, that hit hard. And as a result of that, it caused damage to that tire. But when I went in, the blessing is that they said, yeah, but let me tell you about your other tires. Look at this. They're like, oh my God, the angels must be with you. I said, yeah. They said, well, when was the last time you had your tires done or whatever? And what seems to be a year is like 4 years ago or something like that. Anyway, I could see for myself that it was time to change tires, and I guess it was today for that to happen. And that all kind of came in all at one time. And so I said, well, as I'm out and about, I have to get that and wait for my car. I was driving with my son, so I was able to take care of some other stuff like batteries for the phone that you can't find batteries any place. So I got to go to Batteries Plus. So I did accomplish some things today, even though I wasn't feeling 100% either. But yay, here we are. So I'm looking forward to this anchoring light because I know I want to feel better than how I'm feeling at the moment. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see everyone, beautiful light workers, doing this very powerful and important work. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get on Facebook Live right now before I start chatting so I could chat to everybody. And, give me a moment as to how I get this done. This is our um, preview and chat. And listen, what I'm going to write, you are royalty. You are Royalty. Okay. I know there's a whole thing on that right on a page, and it is going to be on the Cosmic Center and go live. So here we go. Okay. And hello. Let me make sure that has happened. Moment. Um, Now, I'm looking to see if that did take or not. Give me a moment. Okay, it is. Very good. All right, now we're live streaming on Facebook Live. Welcome to our beautiful light workers that are here at the Cosmic Center of Spiritual Light in Sarasota, Florida, United States, and also to those who are on Zoom. And for those that are on Facebook Live that may be currently seeing this, but more than likely you will see it later on. We do know there's a couple of you that do look out for it. I was just looking at the outreach of the Cosmic Center, and we are in just wonderful places. Big, big audience in Ghana and Lagos. Hey, Ghana and Lagos, that's cool. And also Helsinki, and where's a couple of places I did see? Canada, United States, other places all around the world. So we are one united force field of light. Wherever we are on the planet, or in some cases off planet, we come together as the Mishadai, the family of light. Barbara Sharon here. Welcome you on this Monday, January 29th, 2024. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about, I put the concept of royalty, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why. One, I would say that the fact that we do hold the similitude and the image of the divine. Okay, that's, pretty high up right there. But also, too, there is a very specific energy to this. And I have to tell you, for whatever reason, I've gotten caught up with some recent um, weddings that have taken place in Bhutan, and it's Crown Prince Martin, and he got married, and it's a whole elaborate thing. It's a special thing, and then even looking at the coronations of kings and queens. But what I've come to find out is that this is in different countries or groups all around the world, all around the world. So it's present in all the continents, present in Africa, it's present in Europe, it's present in Asia. So there's something to this, and I know that there's a lot of different stories, history regarding how you have sort of this hierarchical thing, and some connected to extraterrestrials. There's many different creational stories how this elect, if you will, or this group have come into being. But not getting into all of that, there is something to be said, the idea of a crown. Okay, and all of these things on some level are connected to some esoteric, deeper spiritual meaning. And first of all, the crown, which we know is our the chakras. Okay, the crown chakra. The Buddhas talk about the thousand petal lotus, the beginning of an opening. I mean, there's many different cultures talk about it, but they'll refer to this crown. And most certainly, I would feel that that is connected to the ajna center of the third eye, the pineal gland, and what they call the cave of Brahma, which is the hypothalamus and the pineal and the pituitary gland. So there's all this stuff, and it being transcendental from like the top of the head now coming up. There's also something called the Antakanara. Okay, and the Antakanara is coming from the highest realms of light, which is like a tube that goes straight down, all the way down. And actually, we had a wonderful teacher here, Christos and I were just talking about William Meter, and he talked about that Antakarana, and that Antakarana is something that you build, okay? Just like how your chakras, okay, they're there, they may be dormant, not doing much, but as you put your intention into your spiritual work, you start activating different aspects of yourself. And really, when you look at avatars of light, okay, like the Buddha, Jesus the Christ, who transcendent, and turned into light. In Tibet, they talk about the rainbow body. That's a physical person that turns into light. Their body becomes a rainbow, and they go into light. So we actually have the internal mechanisms within our physical, mental, and emotional bodies for these transcendent things, because everything is connected. We are, in fact, eternal beings. We are divine beings, and we're in this experience right now in a physical, mental, emotional body, but everything is interconnected. So the whole idea, we all know that everything is frequency. We all know that. But then this is very interesting in terms of how our mindset is going to be. And I remember this very clearly because a lot of it has to do the way we're brought up, the programs that we've had. But I recall very clearly somebody who, the idea of being a king or queen. Okay, the king or the queen is saying, well, yes, I expect the best. I expect the best. Why they have like over here, okay, we have a beautiful Susan Yantoro, who's like the temple priestess. This is a holy sacred place. Because we have these avatars of light, the higher celestial realms, we can't keep this place dirty, right? It has to be this energy of like the most beautiful flowers we can find, the most beautiful cloth that we can find, the way of keeping this place like when you walk in, like heaven. Heaven doesn't have dust. Okay, heaven doesn't have the decaying entropy energy that's pulling things down. Okay, it's if you want to say a heaven or the higher celestial realms of light, it holds a frequency. I want to say the frequency of royalty, just as using as a metaphor. Okay, royalty. What does royalty mean? I would like to say, okay, that and never taken away by, oh, let's remember being humble. humble, humble is always there. Okay, so humble keeps the balance, most certainly in this expression where we are. Okay, there is something to be said for humility, and that's to keep things balanced and not the ego going off. But the frequency of the concept of royalty means that you, in some level, embrace the fact that you are royal. There is the royal priesthood of Melchizedek that actually does exist. The royal is written in ancient in the Bible, in the Torah, and other traditions. It speaks of this royal priesthood. And the idea, what would they say? Why wouldn't they just say priesthood? They say royal priesthood, like a higher frequency of priesthood. And it is time for us now to start thinking as we come into our own empowerment, right? We're all becoming empowered. We're all becoming like, hey, sovereign beings, wait a minute, I'm waking up. Hey, I don't know if I go along with all that's going on over here. No, I'm not limited to the South. I remember who I am. I'm a cosmic being. I'm going to start operating from a cosmic perspective. Once you start operating from a cosmic perspective, how can you go back? You can't. You can't. So now you're operating at a whole new level. Okay. And you can understand and see people where they're at. Not everybody is there, but you can be just as the ascended masters do. Be patient. See people say, "Oh, I remember where that person's at. I used to be there before I came into this new level of awakening." Okay. And then you have compassion. Oh, that's okay. Plant seeds, they'll get there. All right. But that was us at one time too. So many of us are at a precipice right now. And at the anchoring light, they have most certainly been talking about this. Every time you do something, consciously just saying, I'm aligning with the light. I want to activate the higher heart of compassion and unconditional love. I want to walk the path of my soul. I want to pull the path of my soul. I want to be the God expression as much as I can be where I am right now. Well, that's going to take you to a whole new level and perspective of things. And then you're going to come in, and one of the hardest things for us as humans has been our own self worth, our own self worth. Part of what I do in terms of empowerment in ministry is trying to remind people of who they are, these special, beautiful, magnificent beings. That's who you are in a world that wants to tell you you're not. That wants to tell you that, oh, you're not good enough or smart enough. And oh, the whole plethora of stuff that's out there. That this is what success looks like. You got to reach this or else you're not successful. That's the matrix. That's the matrix. Then you start awakening like, wait a minute. I don't have to be part of this matrix. What I need to align to and what I need to listen to, which is why I want to really fine tune my intuition and my connection to my higher self and the higher parts of ourselves, is to get that truth, that perspective, a higher perspective that shows you wisdom and truth and peace and balance and all those things we strive for. And so when we begin to get out of the box and tap into this much higher thing, we also come to the eyes standing if somebody says, look, I appreciate you so much. I want to give you a way of my appreciation, the best party. You have somebody say, I appreciate you. I want to give you the party of parties. Don't you go out of your way to really fix up that place and make it beautiful and make sure everything is clean and dress the best dress you can dress in. When we do the names of God, okay, we're not coming in with dungarees. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to say, look, I really want to honor this, I want to fix myself up a little bit, nice, comb my hair, make sure I look nice, because what is it? It's an energy. Now, I want to prospect to many of us who are truly ready to embrace the energy of royalty. Now, some may say, oh, I know that. Me from the beginning, I'm not worthy. I don't know. I don't know. I feel so bad. No, we're not talking about you coming that you think you're better than anyone else. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about remembering who you are. And I know that Metatron, okay, puts the crown on the Kether. The Kether. So there's something about a crown. There's something about a crown that exists, the idea of a crown. And what is a crown? Jesus was the crown of thorns. It was a crown. There's something about hair. And so as you start to think and contemplate and just saying, okay, all this royalty and the best diamonds and this and that and putting it on the head. Okay, all these banners and badges and stuff. It's something to say a frequency that we are royal. And I'd like to say that the frequency of royalty is simply a higher frequency of light. The idea of using a metaphor of royalty. I want the best. I want to do the best of service. The whole idea of the kings and queens that were not corrupt was to try to do the right thing for the people. That was the whole concept of that. But also, too, they have the divine right of kings. Now, I don't know who came up with that. Not sure what the story is on that, but the idea was that you were close to the divine. And as such, you played that role, which was a frequency of um royalty, of royalty. So, it was an interesting concept. It just came up to me. I do have an alignment with uh uh, uh Queen Elizabeth, who passed. Okay, because I was actually born when she acceded the throne when King George died. So I've always had this kind of parallel thing with with British monarchy, which I'm sure I have some DNA with that as well. But the key thing about it, observing it throughout the years, it just came to me and say, that is actually a frequency. I did get a chance to see the room in the Queen Elizabeth's private space on the QE2. And everything was done with such precision that it was sort of like an honoring to make sure the plate was the cleanest, it was the shiniest. And you know who does that? That's Dharma, like in Thailand and the other and Asian uh, cultures. Coming from, look, if I'm going to be the dishwasher, I'm going to be the best dishwasher because it's my dharma. I'm bringing this energy. I is my, it is my honor to be in a frequency of the best of the best of the best that I can be. And that is a frequency. And many of us have been programmed not to grasp that. And we have to remember that when we look out there in our lives and we want to do, yes, why can't we think, I expect the best. I want the best. The best is good. Okay. We, the light workers, need to start shifting to say, we need the royalty, we need the money, we need the insight to make this place a better world. And our motivation is what? Service. Coming from the higher heart of compassion, unconditional love. There's some part of us that says, don't you guys know that you're royalty? We're so grateful that you're here, that you are making such a difference. We honor you. So that's a new concept that perhaps for 2024, we need to embrace that. Remembering that we are royalty, we vibrate at the frequency of royalty, and all others throughout the multiverse, they know who we are and are in awe of who and what we are. Okay, the Devic realm, the angelic realms, they come as service to us. God said, "No, you go there and serve the Adam Kadmon," and they do. They're the messengers. Okay, they come for guidance and helpful. So, like, we can't be just what is the word schmucks. We have to be something, some kind of elevated level that warrants respect. That's what I'm saying. And who needs to figure that out first? Love thy neighbor as thyself, meaning the prerequisite is what? Loving yourself. Loving yourself. And we have been so bombarded that's not what we saw. Love thy neighbor as thyself, meaning the prerequisite is we must love ourselves. And if we love ourselves, we have to know that we are of value. And if we are of value, we have to say, wait a minute, okay, I'm coming from this frequency, a high frequency that we could just label for the sake of a metaphor, royalty. Royalty. And there's something about the head that's important and wonderful and great. And that is our consciousness beginning to expand into the diamond realms of light. We're connected to it. So let's all ponder on that. That's a deep thought. I'm going to think more on it. I'm going to dive deep into that whole concept. It's been coming up. Let's dive deep together and see what we come up with. With that, I'll say namaste. This is Baba Sharon.